Hello, hello, hello. It looks like we're having some technical issues, so trying to get that all figured out. Don't know what the hell's going on, but can you hear me on Rumble? Feels like Rumble's fine, but it does feel as if uh does feel hello? Hello? Am I live on YouTube? All good. Are we back? We're back. I think we had like a repeat RTMP code type of an issue, but I think we are good. I think we're good. I think we're good. Rumble chat and YouTube chat, good. What up, brothers? What up, sisters? Welcome back to the Matt Kohrs Show, where I'm Matt, you're Kohrs, and together we are live to talk about the old stock market, crypto, futures, options, breaking news, funny stuff, political stuff, which is typically not funny until we make it funny, inappropriate jokes, some appropriate jokes, and everything in between. As in just things that I thought were jokes that aren't funny, and I say it and I smirk, and then I look over at chat and no one says LOL, and I'm like, well, that's awkward. And then I think that it's more awkward because I'm just in all reality saying it in a studio to no one. I'm just talking at a camera, which is really the dystopian future that we're dealing with anyway. And then I was thinking about AI and how AI is definitely going to take over and kill all of us. But in the meantime, maybe we can make some money off of it, which is inherently kind of interesting. We're trying to make money off the thing that will most likely end human existence in a couple years. And then I thought, I wonder if I'm going to have tacos for dinner, because like there's this cool new taco bar near me that I'm trying to like go to. And I think they run like some sort of margarita deal on Wednesdays. So that's been my morning. That's been my morning. I hope you've had a good morning. Financially, I'm not really that excited for the market to open up because it seems as if all the plays I've done are opening up against me, excluding the target put. We got some TGT puts, and those are looking nice. The AI, the C3.ai calls were looking nice yesterday, even into post-market, but pre-market not looking the best. I don't know. I'm hoping that this little dip that we're seeing across the board in pre-market right now is the old fake out, the old bamboozle. So we'll see how that all goes. But I hope you guys are having a good one. I really hope everything that you're doing is making you money. I hope you're having a great day. I hope financially you're well off, spiritually you're well off, emotionally you're well off, familially. I don't know. I need to watch more Fast and Furious to really hone in on that concept of family. I haven't seen the new Fast and Furious movie, but I very much want to. In fact, I think that might be the thing that saves the box office, because it is obviously going to be the climax of the best movie franchise ever made. Not emotionally. Well, Sean, you can't have them all. As long as you have some of them, you're doing well. But I hope everyone's having a great morning. I hope everyone's having a great day. Here's the plan for the day. I'm going to break down all the news, basically giving you the most recent updates on the debt limit ceiling. Then we're going to talk about what's going on with AI. I have some other news. I want to prepare you statistically with how today normally plays out. I want to kind of give you a heads up of all the major market events, announcements, Fed speeches, all that good jazz for today. A little bit of a preview for the statistical analysis for tomorrow. And then obviously we could do some breakdown of individual, like I know right now, Nvidia is hot, AI is hot, Carvana is hot. We could take a little bit of a look at crypto, maybe some other plays. I know a lot of you are betting against Target with me. I know some of you are betting against AnheuserBusch. We could take a look at those, but just do some classic chart breakdowns of whatever your interest is in. So it's going to be a pretty calm day. There's not major news as of now, but it feels like one of those days that as the day progresses, we're most likely going to get some big announcements from the political front related to the debt ceiling negotiation. So some good news on that actually as of last night into today, but yet the market's not really pricing that in. So we might be turning out to have one of those classic buy the rumor, sell the news type of scenarios. But that's your TLDR. Before we get into all of it, folks, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching me right now, as you can tell, some days we have some technical issues, so it's safe to be on both platforms. Subscribe to be on Rumble, subscribe to me on YouTube. If you go to Rumble and or YouTube and search Kohrs, Kohrs, there's a good chance I'm going to be the first person that comes up. Subscribe on both. It's honestly just a safety measure. Sometimes one of them's working, the other one isn't, all that type of stuff. So liking helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps with the Rumble battle leaderboard. Just lets both platforms know that, yes, we are in fact the most dominant community in the entire interweb space. So check those out. Very much appreciate it. And hey, throughout the day, a lot of the day. You see me up with my charts. I use TradingView. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. You could get, I believe, a free month trial or some sort of discount, anything like that. It's just an affiliate code. But shout out to TradingView. Love their software. That's where I do a lot of my stuff. If you folks are looking for literally the best charting software you can possibly use, check out TradingView. Once again, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you use that link, you'll get some sort of freebie. And with all that being said, let's take a look at the overall stock market. Thus far this morning, not looking so good. The SPY looked really good before market opened yesterday, 422. Now we're all the way down to 418. AnheuserBusch is getting slaughtered, going from 56 down to 53. AI had a great pop in the close, giving back some of those gains, 46 now down to 41 and some change. Nvidia going from basically 418, 419 all the way down to 394. So throughout the market day yesterday and now what we're seeing, things are not looking the best. I do want to give a little bit of a shout out to Tesla. Seems to be holding on a little bit better, but another one that's getting absolutely slaughtered this morning is Target. I mean, look at this. Like Target's 10-day sell-off is just absolutely brutal. 160 down to 134. If this thing snaps 130, I think it's a very immediate dive all the way down to 125. In terms of my current positions, I currently have Tesla calls, Nvidia calls, AI calls, and Target puts. I have 4 active positions. Oh, actually wall calls too, but I keep forgetting about those because they're in my Fidelity account, but I have wall calls as well. So 4 calls, 1 put, the puts on Target, the calls across the board. The positions that I really like right now are AI and Tesla. AI was up over 100% when the market closed yesterday. Tesla was actually down about 18%, but I still like the fact that it was a major daily time frame breakout, a hold. So today, if it can get above and hold above the 200, 202 level, I'm going to be one happy duckling. So with all that being said, let's talk about everything going on from a higher level view. Stock futures fall as traders await debt ceiling progress in Washington. So here's the dealio. Basically, to get the votes in the House, first you have to go through a rules committee. That happened yesterday. Then it goes to the floor for a vote. And as of now, allegedly, there are enough votes to make this pass. But obviously, we'll believe it when we actually see it type of a deal. McCarthy confident on debt vote despite hardline ouster threat. Ultra-conservatives threaten revenge on Speaker for debt deal. McCarthy says his job is secure. Debt deal, easy vote for the GOP. Let me make sure we have the volume on.
President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy are in lobbying mode today as the debt limit deal looks set to be voted upon tomorrow, if it can make it past the Rules Committee in the House today. Bloomberg's Anne-Marie Horton is joining us now from the White House with the latest. So, Anne-Marie, we know a deal was just step 1. Now it's step 2 to get to the finish line. Walk us through what we should expect today and in the days that follow.
Well, today, Kaylee, you have House lawmakers coming back to Washington. Remember, they're supposed to be in their districts this week. A lot of them were home for Memorial Day parades and other events. And now they're all coming back
they were doing parades.
They have to vote on this bill. So, but you say correctly, the start of it, the first test.
This is your recap of yesterday. I just wanted to go to this. Deal barely dents the U.S. budget deficits. Honestly, I think based on the amount of leverage the GOP had going into this, the deal actually, I feel like the Democrats are kind of looking like the winners from it. So anyway, that was yesterday. Going into it, the House Rules Committee to get it on the House floor, that's kind of like the main piece of political news for the day. Debt ceiling bill clears key hurdle, teeing up final House vote before it goes to Senate. The compromise bill to raise the debt ceiling passed its first major test in the 13-member House Rules Committee. This was getting a little testy because there was 2 people within the committee who were kind of outspoken that they weren't going to go for it, but obviously it got enough votes and then it ended up passing. A key Republican swing vote, Tom, supported the bill, which had been briefly imperiled earlier after 2 other conservatives said they planned to vote against it. Congress faces a Monday deadline to address the debt ceiling or the U.S. government will default. I know heading into this, there's a very good chance that you were hearing June 1st, June 1st, June 1st, June 1st. And then what's kind of funny is the GOP was like, we don't believe that gremlin, the Treasury Secretary Yellen, who's like telling us about June 1st. So now allegedly the debt is getting the debt date, the X date for our debt is now June 5th. So we're not really operating on this June 1st calendar anymore for the X date, just so everyone knows. But allegedly, it's going to be passing the House today. Then from there, it's going to get kicked over to the Senate, and their procedures actually take a little bit longer even, so time is definitely of the essence. Debt limit deal will pass House Wednesday. According to Jeffries, Democratic leader says his party will deliver enough votes. Progressive Democrats, conservative Republicans object to the bill.
Mr. Leader, thank you for joining us at this important moment on Bloomberg. Are you a yes vote on this bill?
Hell yeah, brother.
As I've indicated, I strongly support
Hell
the
yeah,
president,
brother.
the administration, and the resolution that has been reached in terms of preventing a default that would be catastrophic, would crash the economy, would hurt millions of Americans. I applaud President Biden in finding a resolution that will prevent this dangerous default from happening.
Notice how none of them ever say anything ever. It's just like a bunch of words that when you really think about it,
support the Biden
have no
administration's
meaning. Just super high-level vague statements.
It will extend the debt ceiling for an additional 2 years.
This is the guy under McCarthy in the House.
Being in this kind of hostage-taking situation for the rest of this Congress, that's a good thing. The other important resolution that was brought about as a result of President Biden's leadership is that some very important Democratic priorities were protected. Social Security protected, Medicare protected, Medicaid protected, veterans protected, and the American people were protected from the types of extreme
I honestly
cuts
think he has the
that
right to do a bit of a
Republicans were
victory
trying
lap.
to jam
I think the
down
Democrats are
throats
looking better from this
of
deal.
the country as a result of the hostage-taking situation that has been underway for the last several months.
So, Mr. Leader, it sounds like you are a yes when the bill comes to the floor, and that's where you're going to vote. But how many other Democratic colleagues do you expect to also vote yes alongside you?
Well, we're in the process of engagement right now. We had 3 hours of virtual meetings yesterday with the administration. 3 hours of virtual meetings are underway today with the administration. We'll also have a caucus meeting tomorrow in person at the House where members of the administration will be able to continue to talk to members of the House Democratic Caucus. It's been a very collaborative and cooperative and communicative experience over the last few days. I think the more important question that everyone should be asking in terms of what's going to happen on the floor of the House of Representatives is how many votes will the Republicans produce? This is an agreement that at their insistence, they negotiated with the administration. And it's our full and complete expectation that they are going to produce at least 150 votes. We as Democrats are going to make sure that we do not default on our nation's debt. America should always pay our bills, but it's important for Republicans to keep the promises that they've made. No one seriously believes that 95% of House Republicans are going to support this agreement. That's a number that I believe had been floated in the public domain, but it's reasonable to expect that they will produce at least 150 votes on Thursday.
And that's what you got to listen for, 150. So just want to share that. The debt limit, we got through the House rules. Now we're going to that actual House vote. We'll probably getting more of an update on that today. Citi strategist says tech stocks rally is now at risk of fizzling out. So the other big news is basically AI. The AI cultural public hype also bleeding over to the stock market, where you see things like Nvidia, Palantir, C3 AI, Broadcom, just all these AI related stocks, just rippity skippity doodah. Like they just duct tape themselves to a rocket and they are exploding directly to the Mars, maybe past Mars. I don't know. I'm not the best at astronomy here. But anyway, is it a bubble? Yeah, it's a bubble. Obviously, it's a bubble. Of course, these things are fundamentally overvalued. Without a doubt, they're fundamentally overvalued. But that's the tricky part. Just because something's fundamentally overvalued does not mean it's about to come down. We saw that with GME. We saw that with Doge. We saw that with AMC. We saw that with Shiba. These are all things that exploded in 2021, and they were comically fundamentally overvalued. And you know what happened? They kept going and going and going. Just because you identify something as fundamentally overvalued, as a hype play, as a bubble play, that doesn't mean it's going to come down right then. In fact, you can still make a considerable amount of money. The more people mistiming it and trying to bet against it before it's actually going to come down, that can prompt it to go even higher and higher and higher. So right now, do we see within the stock market a lot of overvaluations, a lot of bubble-esque things. Yeah, without a doubt. But that does not mean it's time to take your profits. That doesn't mean it's time to bet against it. You need to wait for the proper setup, the proper risk to reward setup where, yeah, maybe it happens today. I don't know. A lot of people are going to be throwing out their conjecture of like, oh, it's going to happen. It already happened. It's about to happen. It's going to happen years from now. It's not a bubble at all. The bubble's already popping. Everyone's going to have an opinion on this. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's appropriate for you. And I would strongly argue what's appropriate for most of us is, yes, look for that good risk to reward setup. Play the situations where you have minimal risk, optimal reward. You put your money on the table, and then you wait for it to play out. And you stick to your rules. If your risk is hit, you got to cut it. If your reward is hit, you got to take your profits. If you're using whatever, a trailing stop loss, whatever your strategy is. I mean, we could get into maybe some useful strategies, especially reviewing some of those other things that like went parabolic, went sideways, then ended up coming down. Of course, yeah, history could definitely help us out a little bit here. But in the market, there is a common saying that history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. So yeah, we can use some of these like kind of FOMO crazy things playing out in the past to get a better idea of how to play this, because I strongly believe money could be made to the upside, and I strongly believe money could be made to the downside. I'm not saying I'm against AI. I actually think AI will most likely revolutionize pretty much any industry we can think of, but that doesn't mean that these prices that we're at right now, we're just going to stay there and keep going higher. I think if anything, there's going to be that natural ebb of flow. We got the explosion to the upside. I think it comes back down. I think we're going to base, and then I think we're going to see quote unquote more steady growth off of that. So right now, I'm not interested in investing in these because they are way too overvalued. But yeah, they could totally be an active trade once again to the upside and to the downside. We're in this to make money. This concept of just diamond handing everything, it's a little bit silly, and that's probably not where you're going to be a successful trader and or investor, just like diamond handing everything because you saw someone tweet about it or write an interesting Reddit post. Let the price action determine what you're actually doing. Another way to say that is let your system, which should be well-defined with risk and reward, define how you actually engage with the market. So anyway, you're going to see some people saying that the bubble, I mean, we know that professor from Wharton was saying, hey, like it might be a bubble, but we're just starting now and it has a lot to go. We see other people saying that it's fizzling out, might be popping. Like everyone's going to have an opinion. Whatever bias you potentially have, you're going to be able to find a person with the right pedigree, with the right credentials supporting you. And then if you look hard enough, you're going to find people who are going exactly opposite. Everyone has an opinion here. And understand these people with the pedigrees, with the credentials, they're all right 50% of the time. Sometimes they're right even less than 50% of the time. So just because you're reading something, I just want to be clear here. Whatever your bias is, you're going to find people supporting your bias. So make sure you're not caught in your own echo chamber. Stick to whatever your trading plan is. On that note, one of the exciting AI reports coming out after the market closes today is C3 AI. They're reporting. I want to talk about them because it is a completely different situation than Nvidia. Yes, they're both involved in the world of AI. Nvidia is a much larger company, almost no short interest. C3 AI is a much smaller company with a lot of short interest and some short sellers for sure. The short interest is around like 20, 30%. I think it's around 30 something. But on top of it, they are being accused of maybe not properly doing accounting, and that's like the short seller thesis. So the shorts are now kind of getting blown out because AI is exploding to the upside. So we're going to be talking about that. And I just want you to know the numbers as of right now, 26% short interest, 100% utilization, cost to borrow is 20%. And once again, this is all for C3 AI, but I want to come back to that. After the market opens and things settle down a little bit, I want to do more of a full breakdown just so everyone's a little bit more prepped up for the earnings after the market closes today. AI poses human extinction risk on par with nuclear war, Sam Altman and other tech leaders warn. So the people who are driving the effort are also telling us that this could kill us all, which I find to be a little bit upsetting. Mitigating the risk of extension from AI should be a global priority along other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war. Bold statements from people who are literally at the forefront of progressing AI. But hey, I guess maybe the doomsday clock is already going and we just don't know about it. Maybe we've already come too far. I have no idea, but we might as well have a little bit of fun in the meantime. Speaking of the fun specifically for today, 15 minutes into the trading day, we get the Chicago Business Barometer. More importantly, at 10 a.m., we are going to get the job openings report. And then we have two different Fed speakers, two at 1:30, and then we're going to get the Beige Book, which is a qualitative outlook of the economy that's coming out at 2 p.m. today. So two Fed speakers, qualitative outlook at the economy, and then job openings at 10. And then just so you know, if you want a little sneak preview of tomorrow, more job stuff, more Fed speakers, and then on Friday, it is the first Friday of the month, so we are getting the unemployment report. Speaking of market events and announcements, mortgage demand drops to the lowest level in 3 months. Rates are still going up. As of now, there's a greater chance than that, not that in the mid-June FOMC meeting, we're getting another Fed fund rate hike. So interest rates are going to keep going up. I mean, right now, mortgage, I believe it's like around some places, it looks like increased to 6.91%. Some people were seeing spikes above 7, depending where they were. So mortgage interest rates going absolutely sky high. I want everyone to be aware of that. Shaky times in the real estate market. In terms of earnings, after the market closes today, we get CrowdStrike, Salesforce, C3 AI. C3 AI is evidently the major one I'm paying attention to today. And then tomorrow we're getting Dollar General, Macy's. I just want to see what's going on there in terms of discount stores, just because there's been craziness with Walmart. We have the Walton selling a lot of their stock. We have a lot of craziness with Target and the social issues that they're running into. So I just want to see what Dollar General and Macy's have to say. But really the major one I'm watching after the market closes tomorrow is Broadcom, ticker symbol AVGO. That's another one that's gone absolutely bonkers because of the AI hype wave. So could just be interesting to know what's going on there. And then I just want to call it out. It's not a company that I really pay attention to, but I know a lot of you do, is ChargePoint. So just want to put it out there that they're reporting after the market closes tomorrow. With respect to today and really seasonality, today is seasonally bearish. Yeah, the percentage-wise is about 50-50, but you need to know that the profit factor is 0.17. So every single dollar bet in the bullish direction has only returned 17 cents, which is a sizable loss. I mean, you're losing 83 cents on every dollar spent. So this is what the equity curve looks like, buying at open and selling at close on this day individually over the past 25 years. Actually, no, on this one, I only had 17 years worth of data because we're getting to the end of the month and not every single year has this many trading days. That just has to do with the silliness of the Gregorian calendar. Don't get me started on that. But anyway, over the past 17 years, this is what the equity curve looks like for this individual day of trading, just kind of going down and down and down. Is it going to play out that way? I have absolutely no clue, but I do want you to know that the bulls are running into some form of headwinds today from a seasonal bias. Tomorrow, nothing too special, but Friday, absurdly bullish. Friday is insanely statistically bullish, just so everyone knows. And that leads us to the 5 things you should know before the stock market bell goes dingity ding 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 today, Wednesday, May 31st. Mixed up May. Well, the market seems kind of fine, but it's really being drug up by about a handful of stocks. 5, 6, 7 stocks are pretty much responsible for all of the gains, while everything else is about like 1%. We are in a weird situation where most of the market's doing nothing, and then there's a couple massive outperformers, which are making the overall situation seem a little bit better than it actually is. Huge vote coming up. Debt ceiling. We're talking about the House because it did pass the Rules Committee by a slim margin, 7-6. Some people, the hardcore conservatives, are calling for McCarthy to be ousted, and like just a lot of drama, a lot of drama, which is, hey, it's good for reality TV. I don't know why it's happening in the political arena right now. Diamond goes to China. JP Morgan CEO Diamond, speaking in Shanghai, called on the U.S. and Chinese governments to cool it and find a way to work better together. So he's kind of doing the exact same thing that Elon has been doing. Diamond also, just so you guys know, currently caught up in a whole Epstein situation. And then on top of that, he recently came out saying that when he's done in the private sector, that he might be considering going into politics. So some interesting commentary from Diamond. One sentence to warn the world. So literally the guy running OpenAI is telling us about how AI might kill us all, which I still find very, very, very unsettling. mortgage demand slumps. That's exactly what happens when you have mortgage rates popping above 7% or almost above 7% and definitely above 7% in certain areas. Once again, I do want to reiterate my concern for the corporate real estate sector. I think it's going to be in for a rough while coming up here pretty soon. So those are the 5 things that allegedly mainstream media thinks you need to know for today. The main things I want you guys to know is, hey, remember, none of this matters anyway. Like, if you make money, if you lose money, this is all just, it's more about having fun. Really, the name of the game today is teamwork. That's what really matters. If you make money, lose money, whatever, easy come, easy go. You should be much more focused on, are you having fun? I just want you guys, as a solid teamwork effort, I want you folks to have a good old fun time today. Matt, how do you feel about Ken Griffin's connection with Ron DeSantis? I don't have like really any emotions surrounding it. If you think that billionaires only have connections with one political hopeful, let me tell you that you're talking about a billionaire whose job is risk reward management. He's not going all in. I guarantee you he's donating and has connections to every person, because when you're a billionaire running the world's largest market making firm, you're going to be buddy with probably any legitimate candidate, and you're going to be giving them money and doing them deals. They just operate in a different political financial world than we do. When you're at that level, you're buying favors and you're connected with almost every single person in this world of serious influence. So if you think that it just stops at Ron DeSantis, I don't want to be the person like kind of busting your bubble here, but I guarantee you he could get Ron DeSantis on the phone. He could get Biden on the phone. He could get Trump on the phone. He could get Harris on the phone. He could get anyone on the phone. Follow me, please. It's free. Shepard just became a monthly supporter. Shepard, the fact that you became a monthly supporter, I'll follow you. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. You can buy my follow. I'm not shy enough to tell you that you could buy me following you. Hang on. How do I go right to your portfolio? Follow. I'm your 5th follower. Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. You uploaded that one ago. Yeah, you could totally buy my followership. And let that be known to everyone here. You can buy my following without a doubt. I'm man enough to tell you guys you could do it for sure. So silly. All right, we have 15 seconds till the market opens. The plan for market open is to first 10, 20, 30 minutes, watch the market open. We do have a report at 9:45. We do have a report coming out at 10 a.m. So 15 minutes into the trading day, 30 minutes into the trading day, 2 market reports are coming out. Pay attention to those, and then we could do an update of some of my positions and whatnot. With all that being said, dingity, ding, ding, ding. Wake up, casino. It is a Wednesday, and boy, are we rocking. Thus far, things are looking a little bit rough, but hey, just because you had a rough night doesn't mean you're going to have a rough day. Maybe we'll be able to turn these things around. The casino is open. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. Money is easy come, easy go, but what isn't is a good old explosion to the upside, apparently, in the AI sector. I fucking called out Tesla. I called that out. Anyone who's like, ooh, Tesla's up, I wonder if I should have played that. I fucking called that out. Now, others of you are going to be like, yeah, but you also went long on Nvidia. Let's not focus on my losing trades. Let's focus on my winning trades. I need optimism in here. Unbridled optimism 100% of the time. The negatives, we got to box those up and put them in the back of your closet. It's just optimism, good vibes. Good vibes 100% of the time. I don't know why I'm still on this announcement voice, but I kind of like it. What other voices do I have programmed in here? All right, so here's the normal. This is Matt Kohrs coming at you live from the Matt Kohrs Show.
This is the Hulk Hogan. Oh, brother, I had a couple too many racks of ribs at Texas Roadhouse last night.
This is the Target announcement voice. Please stop shorting our company. We seriously can't handle it anymore. We're worried about bankruptcy.
What is this voice? Oh, this is the robot announcement voice. Well, hello there. This is when the AI takes over the world. I just want our AI overlords to know that I'm on their team and not on the human race's team.
What's this one? This sounds normal. This sounds...
Wait, is this a hard tune? Oh, this is a hard tune. Hello. Hello there, brother. Hello. Take me home. What's this one? Hello. Testing, test. Welcome to the ball game.
All right, that's enough messing around. This is a real finance show where we talk about real things with real money. A lot of you, I see it over in chat, you're screwing around today. You're acting as if the market is in a serious place for serious people. I need more seriousness out of you. Seriously. This is not a joke. For any of you thinking that this is a place that you could just prance around and not take it seriously, well, you're wrong. This is real. This is real finance, real markets, and you need to be real serious. I tricked you all. I mentally took note of everyone in chat who thought it was more funny that we were messing around than talking about nerdy financial numbers. And I know who you are, and disappointed. I'm more disappointed in you than your parents are, and I will be writing them. I will be writing them a strongly worded text. Fuck, man, why is everything going against me? Is it because I wasn't serious enough this morning? I was tricking them. This is what happens when you talk a little shit on Ken Griffin in the morning. He looks into your positions and then completely smashes it back into your face. I don't even want to look at my account this morning. Oh, brother, don't do this to me. Stop. Why is everyone's just being a big baby today? Why can't people just grow some balls and buy some stocks? Dude, bunch of babies out there. Bunch of big babies. I'm going to cheat. You know, one big thing I learned when playing Monopoly against my sister growing up is if it's not going your way, you got to cheat. Don't ever admit to the world that maybe you're just not as good and you need to learn and you need to practice. No. This is the lesson of the day. I know a lot of you come to me just for stock market talk, but really most of you are in here for my one philosophical lesson of the day. And my philosophical lesson of today is if things are not going your way, cheat, and cheat even more. No one remembers how you became successful, how you got there. It's all about, are you successful? No one cares. No one cares whatsoever if you cheated to get where you are. They just care about where you are. I just want to drive that home to everyone. So I'm going to cheat a little. We're going to use a little bit of magnet manipulation just to get what I want out of the market. Matt, your hair looks really good today. Moto Dallas, that's the type of optimism we need in here. I appreciate that. I'm going to be keeping that little comment in my memory. It's going to make me smile. Take the damn magnets off. No way. We're cheating. If Ken Griffin's allowed to cheat, I'm allowed to cheat. If he can cheat, I could cheat better. Can you do a breakdown on Apple, please? Sure. Well, here's what the chart looks like. Very clear wedge to the upside. It's getting, obviously the range is getting smaller and smaller. It's trading at 178. There's no way I'm buying Apple right now at 178. Seems a little crazy being its all-time high is like 183 something. It does have two downside gap fills, one to 175.77, another 167.04. If there's some weakness in the chart, I'd prefer to play that just because in terms of risk reward, your risk would be minimal and you have a reward of 175.77, you have one of 172, 171, and then the next one is at 167. So I think the risk reward play here, and I wouldn't do it right now just because we see no clear like trend breakdown. I would want to be fading this move just because like I'm not going to be hopping in. The party to the upside is already kind of over if you're more of a swing trader. So, and I'm not going to invest at these levels either. So if anything, I'm looking for weakness, and then I would want it to play the downside gap fill of 175.77, 167, and I think there'd be a little bit of a stop at 171 in between. So I see this major wedge. I see the EMAs pointing to the upside. I see a lot of bullishness, so I'm not betting against it right now. I have no position on Apple. I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting for the opportunity. All right. So far, my cheating... Oh, is it starting to work? Oh, are you guys cheating with me? Folks, this works better if we cheat as a group. Another lesson that I learned in Monopoly of if there's multiple people in on the con, in on the scheme, in on the cheat, in on the magnets on your charts, it's going to work better. And if you're sitting there right now and you're thinking to yourself, "Ah, shucks, I wish I had magnets on my chart." Well, boy, oh boy, do I have a product for you. Shout out to TradingView for sponsoring today's stream. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, you can find an affiliate link that you could use to kind of get a freebie to use the same charting software I'm showing you right now. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, but wow, Matt, does that mean that I too could have emojis on my chart? And you're darn tootin' it does mean that. You are right. It is your day. It's Christmas. At the end of May, you can also have emojis on your chart with a few simple clicks of the button. Now, a lot of you might already know that this product can be used to manipulate the market, but it doesn't stop there. Folks, it does not stop there. It fixes good days. It fixes bad days. It fixes rainy days. It fixes sunny days. It fixes various forms of illness that I forget the list off the top of my head. Going through a divorce, boy, oh boy, will TradingView help you out. On top of it, there is an endless list of things that TradingView can help you with. And folks, is it too good to be true? Yeah, it's too good to be true, but you might as well find that out for yourself by clicking on the link in the top of the description, or top of the chat, in the description of the video, and then you could use my code, because if you're going to do it anyway, it helps me out, and then I get a cut of what you end up spending with them, because that's how affiliate deals work. Wow, amazing. I must sign up. I'm sold. We have some youngins in here asking if rockets will work. I remember my first day of emoji trading too. We got to do a little bit of a fix here. So maybe we just need a bigger one on AI over here. Maybe we can let's try a different color. Let's try teal. Maybe AI stocks need a different color. What broker do you use for trading futures? TradeStation. TradingView is for charting. TradeStation I use for futures, but I also use NinjaTrader. I have used Interactive Brokers, but I like to use my Interactive Broker account for options more so. I'm so deathly afraid to check out my account right now because I just know it's getting absolutely destroyed. So very, very nervous. Very, very nervous. I remember my first beer. Speaking of your first beer, how's AnheuserBusch? Oh, that stock is getting so fucked. You guys seeing this? Do you know how many billions of dollars Mulaney has cost? It's down 20% ever since the Dylan Mulaney marketing thing. 20%. This is currently a $109 billion company, as it's lost $20 to $25 billion. 20 to 25 billion, folks. That's billion. We're not talking about 20 grand. We're not talking about 200 grand. We're not even talking about 2 million, 20 million. We're talking about, do you know how big of a marketing fuck up that has to be to lose $20 billion? More than $20 billion? Arguably one of the largest marketing mess ups of all time. Well, you could also argue that Target's giving them a run for their money, because how's this been going? They are down 17%, currently a $62 billion company. So they've lost a little less there. They've lost like 9-ish billion, if my math is right, around 9 billion, but still a multi-billion-dollar mistake with the whole pride backlash type of thing, which honestly, that's already pandering to begin with. Like, I mean, let's just be honest about that marketing tactic of the whole, like, in June, 1 month out of the year, we'll care to support the LGBT community. No, it's marketing. They just like paint everything in rainbows and sell it and try to make more money. They're not there for like legitimate support. They were there anyway just to try to make money and ride a cultural fad, and like it was just completely fictitious. So they're getting screwed over as well. That's brutal, dude. Wow. Hey, how many of you thought I was the crazy person in here? And they're like, no way would magnets work. And now who's getting the last laugh? I am. Because especially if you're a new viewer, it's only going to be a matter of time before you realize that out of all people on this side of the Mississippi, I'm the best trader. You could literally line up every single person on this side of the Mississippi. Don't ask me what side. That's being disrespectful. You could line up every single side of every person on this side of the Mississippi, and you're looking at the best trader. You are looking at the best trader on this side of the Mississippi, especially when it comes to Tesla. So don't be surprised. Don't put on your fictitious shock and awe face of like, wow, did he really use emojis and magnets to manipulate the market? Folks, did you expect anything else? Did you expect anything else? Let me put it this way. When you pay oddly way too much money to go to a zoo, sidebar really quickly. I don't know the last time you guys were at a zoo. It's expensive. I think I paid like $90 or $100 to go to the Bronx Zoo a couple weeks ago, but I still love zoos. Huge fan of zoos. Anyway, when you pay a surprisingly large cost to go to the zoo, you go there and you expect the lion to be a lion. You're not expecting all of a sudden to show up and see a lion acting like whatever, a mouse, a stenographer, an astronaut. No, you expect the lion to be a lion. That's the same thing. When you guys came to the free digital zoo known as the Matt Kohrs Show, you're not expecting, like, I'm a trader. You're expecting me to act like the best trader. And you're getting what you paid for, is what I'm trying to say. That 5-second ad that you were forced to watch at the start of the video, that was your ticket into this particular show. The freak show of a trader. I think you guys get it. The St. Louis Zoo is free. Well, this zoo is free too. That's one thing that the St. Louis Zoo and I have in common. And a lot of marketing geniuses of our time have pointed that out. They're like, all right, what are two very successful brands? And they're like, okay, we have the Matt Kohrs Show and we also have the St. Louis Zoo. And that's what they've noticed is like the major through point. What do you think about ChargePoint earnings tomorrow? I have no particular thoughts. Brian, I wish I could give you a super in-depth breakdown, but I have not been tracking that company fundamentally. My favorite EV play is Tesla. I just haven't. I do think that there is opportunity in the upstream, like kind of like the support around the world of EV, but I just don't know enough about it. So I'm not going to I could make up stuff. Brian, how about I'll do you a favor here, buddy. Brian, is that your name? Brian Bubonic? Like the bubonic plague? Is that really what your family is known for? Brian, do you come from a family of virologists? And what was your family up to in like the 1500s? And did you dislike like 50% of the European population? Just kind of curious. Before we get into this, I want to know your thoughts on Europe like 500 years ago. You tell me this, and I'll tell you my thoughts on ChargePoint. All right. The sad thing is I need Nvidia to go like $20 more fucking dollars for this to work. I'm the worst trader to ever do it. Long on bubonic. Anyway, I think we have a celebrity in chat, literally the descendant of the bubonic plague creator. I love what you've been pulling off in Wuhan. Oh, that was a joke. But honestly, I think it was timely. Like, I think it's now appropriate to make those kind of jokes. But anyway, that's my thought. You asked about ChargePoint. Oh, I had to joke about it. I don't know. Oh, I was just going to ask you, you're like, if you're long or short, and I was just going to back up whatever your position was. Obviously, your family's been known to lash out in one way or another. So I don't really want to make you upset here. So just tell me if you're long or short, and I will come up with a bias that is supportive of yours. Remember, 9:45, we got the Chicago barometer. Apparently, people care about the air pressure in Chicago on today, which always blows my mind. Like, why would the air pressure in Chicago have an impact on the market? But apparently it does. It just caused us to go from 419 down to 418.25. So that just came out. 9:45 barometer air pressure reading out of Chicago. Not related to anything in the market, but Al Pacino's expecting a kid at age 82. Yeah, I saw that. And the girl that he is having, the woman, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Any of the women in here, I said girl. The way I say girl is how I say guy. I don't just say the man that they're having the kid with. I say girl, guy. I don't mean it offensively. Please don't be offended. The woman that he is having the kid with, I think, is 29, which has an odd vibe when we know he's, 82? SoFi is on the move. Yes. So why is SoFi moving? That's I appreciate you calling that. SoFi is on the move to the uppity up, because remember, a lot of their revenue, a lot of their business is around student loan payments. And if you didn't know anything about student loan payments, they've been kind of paused for a hot minute. But part of the debt ceiling negotiations appears as if student loan payments are once again going to restart, which will no longer be like a horrible hindrance to SoFi's business model. So basically, those student loan payments, SoFi very much wants them to restart. Very much wants them to restart. Damn it, Matt, call it a birthing person. Is that legitimately what some people are pushing for? Like, I don't want to be offensive to anyone. Like, whatever. If people in their own brain have something going on, but like, is that like what a birthing person? Like, we're not supposed to use like gendered stuff anymore? Dude, you know what I just found out? So for those of you who don't know, because some of you are late to class and you might have missed one of the most important classes ever yesterday, I'm engaged. That was the big announcement of yesterday. I got engaged on Saturday. I let you guys, my friends, my digital friends, know that yesterday. So anyway, I found out on Friday, the day before, a mere 12 hours before, that fiance is two different words. I pride myself on not knowing all the grammar rules. Like, I'm not like a hardcore grammar person, but like, I think I know more than the average person. And that is a rule that I never knew. Fiance is gendered. Did you guys know that? That if you're a woman fiance, you spell it with two E's. And if you're the male fiance, you spell it with one E. Just found that out. And I feel like it's actually kind of odd that it took me 28 years worth of life to realize that there's two different types of fiance. And I know some of you in here are going to be like, oh, how could you just notice that now? But a lot of you in here are going to be like, whoa, I never knew that either. And I actually think that most of you in here probably didn't know that as well. But now we all learned a thing. If you are a female fiance, you have two E's. If you are a male fiance, there's only one E in yours. I didn't know that was gendered properly. And I don't think they've come up with a non-gendered. Maybe they would just make that one three E's. That would be cool. Do you think we could pitch that to the whole like world, like the word community of like, if you're like a non-gendered fiance, that it's three E's? The squiggly's over both, I believe, isn't it? The female squiggly, the dash over the first E. I think that's on both though, right? I think just drop the E. Or does the male fiance not get the dash? The French mind-blowing. You're saying just drop all the E's? So your girl's only one E? Wow, that's so progressive. LOL, got engaged. So your fiance is a female. Yes. I'm the single E, and she would be the double E in this particular scenario. So, hey, we all learned something today. We all learned, honestly, I think you've learned two things today, if we're being frank with each other. Number one, yes, emojis can manipulate the market. And number two, there are two different forms of fiance. So we all learned that. Totally real fiance. Now I know a lot of you are going to be like, she's fake, but how could she be fake if her name is totally real fiance? Double E, nice dude. I feel like eventually this is going to come back in the future and end up canceling me. But at least we're going to have fun from now until then. I learned Matt doesn't know French. I don't know French at all, which is odd because my completely real fiance she says she's not fluent in French, but she's pretty close to being fluent in French. And I don't know a lick of it. I just say, oui, oui. And I say enchanté a lot, but I don't know what it means. I just like saying it. But the way I say it, like I obviously am putting quite a bit of emotion into it. It almost has like a romantic hue to it. I'm like, enchanté. And apparently, I don't like, does it just mean like thank you or you're welcome or something like that? Like it means something that is nowhere close to like how I say it whatsoever. Like it doesn't mean like nice to meet you. I think that's what it means. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, enchanté. But I almost enjoy not knowing what it means. I feel like that's like fun. I feel like that's the fun part. Folks, you have so much to learn from me. You just got to speak languages without knowing what you're saying. Someone just said the market's vomiting. Not really. So far, we've done nothing today. We're in like a 75-cent range. You are enchanting. I'm enchanted by you. Dude, that direct translation, enchanted to meet you. Why don't we say that in English? No one says that anymore. Enchanted to meet you. I saw some TikTok yesterday that was guys today. ILY, I love you. But like they'll text that. And then they're like Achilles back in the day. What was his quote? In a dark room, if I were deaf and you were mute, I would still find you. And it was just like comparing how like lame we are today. But I think that's just because we have more interesting things to do and talk about that. We're not going to like just sit around all day like writing like weird love poems and sentences and crap like that. I think it's just more because they were bored as hell. I mean, that guy, Achilles, he just sat on boats for days and days and days and wrote that kind of stuff. And then he just murdered people. So yeah, I might say ILY, but I also didn't murder people. So it's a trade-off. Matt, come to California July 1st for my wedding. We can discuss the logistics of fiance and fiance. Okay, I'll be there. Achilles, I barely knew him. What's a good entry for Tesla? It depends on you and your time frame. So for me, I got in on a swing trade because of the breakout and the hold of this trend line right here, connecting this trend line on Thursday, February 16th to Friday, March 31st. Connect. It broke out. It held. I'm playing that breakout. My risk is probably, yesterday it was 184, 185. Probably moving my risk up to 192 today, currently trading at 200. Ideally, I want it to be close above 200. Obviously, the higher the better, 204, 210. Like I would love it, obviously, because I have calls. But my risk, I do want to let you know that I'm moving that up. It was about 184. I'm probably going to move it up to 192 today. If it gets closes below 192, it was just a losing trade. And hey, sometimes that happens. In terms of target, I got in yesterday on the breakdown. It was around 136. And then I was risking 140. We're obviously trading below 134. So this one's printing right now. I'll probably end up moving the risk. Yesterday it was 140. I'm probably going to move the risk down. I have target puts. I'm probably moving the risk down to 138. I'm looking for the break and close below 130 on target. And then if that happens, that opens up the door for 125, which is probably where I would like to take most or potentially all of my profits on target, because it has been kind of a clear vomit. So I don't want to push my luck too far on that one. Rum, just kind of mid-range. Would love for it to get above, close above 10. And then once again, obviously setting up a test of 1050. Apple looking very strong. Looks like it's pushing 179. I don't really see an active trade on Apple right now. It's pushed too far that I don't really want to be a bull. So if anything, I would do more of a mean reverting play. We do have 2 downside gap fills denoted in red on your screen. But first, I would have to see some weakness to take advantage of that, because right now I'm just seeing pure strength and I'm too late to the party to be a bull. Where's Nvidia? Ooh, Nvidia's coming down. There's a downside gap fill to 391.70. This was a very bad trade for me. I wish I didn't take it. It was mistimed. I might end up getting lucky. I don't know. I'm not happy with this trade. It was a dumb trade. Not only was it mistimed, I accidentally bet 2 units instead of 1 unit. So I'm just not happy with how this one's playing out right now. Wall, it's doing nothing. IEP, there is an upside gap fill at 23.50. I want to let you know that I'm done with IEP. I locked in all my profits when we hit this support level. And maybe if it turns back around, I might enter once again. But for right now, I have nothing going on with Icon Enterprise, because apparently we're all waiting for Carl Icahn to like fight back against Hindenburg and blah, blah, blah. And I don't really know what's going on there. AI, trying to hold 40 right now. It's an inside bar. And when I say an inside bar, that means the current high and the low are within the high and the low of the previous bar. So no current trend on AI. Speaking of these plays, AVGO could be a little bit of a blow off top exhaustion type of play here. Where's the volume? Where's the volume? Yeah, I mean, look at this. So the stock rippity skippity doodah goes from 622 to 922. It adds $300, adds 50% to its market cap. Huge volume pop. And then it gets kind of murked. This might just be a classic volume exhaustion type of play. This one, it's a tough call because they do report after the market closes tomorrow. So you might want to be careful with this, but I'm watching it for the downside play because it also does have some interesting opportunity down to 732.39 and maybe even more to 684.31. So I'm watching it for a play. I just don't want to get blown out of the position. And in the back of my mind, I keep thinking about how I'm currently in real time misplaying Nvidia. And I just want to be like kind of get myself back onto the track and play this one properly. What else do we have? Tesla above 200. Once again, like it's AI and AVGO. Right now, a lot of things have inside bars. We do have the SPY potentially breaking down, made a new high, but we are below the low of yesterday, so not the biggest fan of that. Would love for it to get above and hold above 419. It would make me feel a lot more comfortable. But don't forget, in 1 minute, we are going to be getting another report. What report comes out at 10 a.m. today? We're getting another report. What is it? 10 a.m. 10 a.m. This is job openings. They're looking at 9.5 million. Let's see what they say about it. All right. Should be coming up shortly. In the futures market, we are at clear support. This is an important support level. And let's see how this all plays out. Basically, between 4,194 and 4,188, major support. We are upside down right now, blue, white, red, trending down. Clearly on the 50-minute, the trend ever since really yesterday has been down, down, down. Lower highs, lower lows. The short-term trend is clearly favoring the... Oh, we're going live. Clearly favoring the bears. But longer-term trend, like the daily, we're still pointing upwards. So a little bit of a mismatch there. 4 hours up, 2 hours up, and even now the 30 minutes like messy.
Live for you, as always, from Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. Take a look at stocks. Final trading day of the month of May, and we're giving some back, down about 0.5% on the S&P 500. Nasdaq's down, again, less than the rest of the market. The Dow's down about 227. 30 minutes here into the trading session. Here are 3 big movers we're watching right now.
Give us the jobs.
Plunges after cutting its full-year profit outlook.
What plunge?
Higher prices for raw materials.
Auto
labor
parts
costs,
down
loads, all weighing on results
32%.
there. Meta hovering around the flat line ahead of its
It came in at 10.103 million. Jenny, I appreciate that.
About 3% away from 52-week
Some more
highs.
job openings than they anticipated.
In the red, missing revenue estimates for the quarter.
Hewlett Packard down.
Guidance there. CEO Antonio Neri joins us to break down those numbers. Also, what the company is saying about AI in just a moment.
Early session lows here. Let's get to Jolts with Rick Santelli. Hey, Rick.
Rick.
Yes, yields popping up, which means Jolts popped up as well. That's correct. If you're looking at the job openings and labor turnover for April, always 2 months in arrears, expecting a number around 9.5 million, but it popped. Instead of getting the fourth in a row that was lower than the previous month, we moved higher to 10,103,000. Second best number of the year. The best number of the year was in January at 10.5 million. And last month moves from 9.5 million to 9,745,000. But we're just splitting hairs here. The fact that it moved higher is just kind of like an inflation number when it moves higher. Same response in the market because of Fed implications. It is giving us a view of a healthy jobs market, and those openings translate into higher yields. We basically moved from 365 back up to 367. We're challenging the low yields. Now we're challenging the high yields. Sarah, back to you.
Oh, brother.
Rick Santelli, thank you very much.
What a
That's
wordsmith,
just the latest
Sony.
data point, I would say, that is moving in the wrong direction for a Fed that wants to slow the economy and bring down inflation fast enough. It's the final trading day of the month of May. You know, the S&P is headed for another month in a row of gains, third month in a row. Yet that doesn't really tell the story, right? Because it's been such narrow leadership
That's
and
not
such bad
the report
breath.
that the Bulls
and
wanted.
You can look at a number of different ways that show this. I thought the Tony Dwyer
Let's see if the
note
market
was really
can
good
shake
this
it
morning
off.
of Canaccord, who says, look, all of this is recessionary. He says the top 10 stocks as a percentage of the overall market cap stands at 32.2%. That's even higher than the dot-com era peak in 2000, and it's also higher than late 2021. He also says that those top 10
something's
stocks currently
brewing in
account
the
for
background,
the entire
team.
year-to-date gain in the S&P 500.
Something
with 8
brewing
out of
in the
11
background.
S&P sectors down on the year. So look at the
SPY
background,
not holding
look at the Treasury
418.
yield curve inversions. Look at, he says that's all pretty
Shit.
recessionary, and I think generally strategists agree it's kind of a dangerous place to be for stocks.
Come
when you have
on.
such
Is this
narrow
when they
leadership.
announced that they
Tony's
passed
been pretty
the debt limit
pessimistic, I
vote
think,
at the
for most
House?
of the year.
Let's turn this market
It's not
around.
going to keep the bulls from arguing that you've got a new secular growth story in AI. You got traction on disinflation. You're getting earnings revisions go higher, not lower. Those are things that are working in the bulls' favor.
Come on.
What's working in the bears' favor, though, is that the Fed expectations are being recalibrated on the back of some of this better data and hawkish Fed speak. I mean, we got Loretta
Hawkish.
Mester, who we knew was more in the hawkish camp, Cleveland Fed president,
Hawkish.
digesting her comments, saying to the Financial Times that she doesn't see a reason
I
for
don't really-
a pause right now, meaning wait until you get more evidence to decide what
If there was
to
a
do.
person who looked like
I
they
would
didn't see
more
a
of
reason
compelling
for a
case bringing
pause,
rates up
that's
and then
Mester.
holding for a while until
This
you
is a
get
lady.
less
Look at her.
uncertain about
That's
the
a person
economy.
who does
You
not
had
pause.
Barkin on the tape as well, the Richmond Fed president. Also, inflation is going to be more stubborn than people would hope.
Same,
Bowman,
brother.
Speaking in the last hour, she was talking more about the housing acceleration. Lower rents will eventually be reflected in inflation data as new leases make their way into the calculations, but overall talked about a reacceleration in housing. And then you add the latest JOLTS data, which we know the Fed has been looking at as a sign that the labor market is too tight, which we know they're targeting because that means wages will keep going up and feeds the inflation story. And you have to wonder if the Fed is really going to take a pause.
I assume they're not looking at China and the lack of momentum out of their reopening and the fact that copper has come down, that oil has come down.
Yeah, oil's
A lot of
getting fucked up.
commodities have
Oh,
been
speaking of
dropping.
which, Warren
I
Buffett
assume they're
bought
not looking
more
at Chicago
Oxy.
PMI, which was well below. There's China's.
Why is that funny? That's not funny. I don't think I like that guy. Whoever that guy is, that other guy that was talking, he's not my cup of tea. Norway's oil fund says firms mismanaging climate risk could face exclusion. Imagine if that was a typo and said execution. That's what I don't get. Why can't we make finance news more exciting? Like, why are they giving us these like lame, middle of the road type of headlines? Norway's oil fund says firms mismanaging climate risk could face exclusion. Juice it up, make it interesting, and then just be like, sorry, it was a typo. We meant exclusion and we accidentally auto-corrected it to execution. Like, these are ideas that I give out to these people for free, and they just never, ever take it. They never take it. If they want to pump up their ad revenue, their really overall just admiration from the finance community, make it exciting. Don't have people up there talking about China's PMI, like this is good for the market, this is bad for the market. At the end of market every day, you get two anchors up there, you make them debate something. And whatever person's right the very next day, be like, yeah, I think we're going to like gap up tomorrow. I think we're going to gap down. You make them physically assault each other. You make one person slap the other person. The loser always gets slapped. That's how you should start the next show. Folks, that's how I come up with all this stuff. Top of the mind. You want a good finance idea? Good finance idea. Whatever stock makes you the most money that year, you get it tattooed right onto your arm. And then we see like a running list of whatever your best performers are. You just get that ticker symbol tattooed right there. Your worst performing one, you're in a boxing match. You're in a Rochambeau match with that CEO. These all, I know this might blow your mind right now. Can I blow your mind right now? I just came up with all those ideas right now. Yeah, I'm going to blow your mind. Chris and I have been talking about them for a little bit, but most of those ideas I just came up with literally right now in front of all of you. So you're welcome. You're welcome for all of that. Market not looking the best. Nvidia not looking the best. Tesla not looking the best. AI not. Oh, things are not having a good morning, brother. All right, where are some support levels? Next support, 417.35. Support. Friday the 19th, Monday the 22nd. Clear support in the. I want to say 47. We'll just call it 417.35 because that's exactly what it is. So pay attention to that. Maybe, just maybe, I do want to point out that right now, the futures market for the S&P 500, this is a clear support region, 4188 to 4194. This is support. If we can bounce out of here, I might take a little bit of a risky call play into close, but that's just because we're at support. So if I'm wrong and if it goes below 4188, okay, cool. Like I just cut it and it'll be like a paper cut type of a situation. It is counter trend, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'm going to be watching it because we could bounce out of here. There is what we're at support. This is a support level. And I know there's another support level on the SPY a little bit lower, 417.35. We're at 417.80 right now. So we'll see how it plays out. I was feeling good about Nvidia this morning when it got back above 403 or 400, tagged 403, but now it's just vomiting from there ever since we got the air pressure reading out of Chicago. And the jobs report came in higher than expected, came in at 10.1. The expectation was 9.5. Let me explain that to you for a second of why that's not so good. Because that might seem a little shocking. Like, well, hang on, isn't that good? Like, isn't that a healthy sign for an economy to be adding more jobs? And you're right. Unfortunately, don't forget that our Fed is attempting to slow down the economy because our economy is running too hot. That is inherently inflation. Basically, the party's raging and the Fed is like kind of like the narky neighbor who didn't get invited and they're trying to shut down the party. Well, the reading we just got, the job openings is most akin to saying, hey, we have more room for more partiers and you're all invited. You might as well come party with us. And obviously, as you could imagine, as a neighbor who's maybe trying to get sleep, you don't want that. So you're going to be pissed off. And that's essentially what's going on right now. The job openings, there's more openings at the party, and it's a party that people want to be at. So there's a good chance people come to the party. And then the Fed are neighbors who are trying to get sleep because they have a normal corporate job and you can't keep being up at 1 a.m. And they're like, hey, you said you were going to stop this. And you're like, oh, brother, I just forgot. And like my friends came over. Can like you let's go for a little bit more? And they're like, no, seriously, this is like the 8th time we have had to talk about it. Like I'm going to have to get the cops involved. And you're like, dude, that'd be like super not cool. That type of a situation, we've all been there before. But anyway, the economy is running too hot. The Fed is in charge of getting this hotness to be a little bit more chill. They're trying to calm inflation down. They don't want the economy to be running this hot because it's unsustainable. It can lead to hyperinflation. We're in inflation right now. They don't want to go to hyperinflation. Hyperinflation, especially with the current situation, could lead to stagflation, and that's the last thing that we want. So the report we literally just got increases the chances of the Fed being more aggressive, as in being more hawkish, as in putting more downward pressure on the economy. Their goal is to slow the economy down, so they're going to put downward pressure on it by just being restrictive in various forms. They can increase their quantitative tightening. They can increase the Fed fund rate, which has the trickle-down effect of jacking up all other rates, whether it's your student loan payments, whether it's your auto payments, whether it's your mortgage payments. Like rates can just go up. The Fed's in charge of that. They increase rates to put more downward pressure on the economy. And then that has the secondary effect of putting downward pressure on the stock market. So we live currently in this upside down world where good economic reports are suggestive of the economy still being too hot, which will force the Fed to be more aggressive, which tells the world that they're going to put more downward pressure on the economy because they don't want it to be so hot. And then that pushes the stock market down. So that's exactly why when we got these quote unquote good reports, the stock market actually sold off from there. I hope that makes sense. I think a lot of you will kind of pick up when I'm laying down. Fat Pat, aka Charlie Brown, late to class. At least you're honest about it. Is AI going back up? Who knows? No one knows. I love that people come in here and they're just like, is it going to go? As if I knew. If I definitively knew something, if I was like clairvoyant, if I could tell the future, if I was speaking with an oracle every morning and they're like, hey, I just want you to know that the stock's about to do this. Do you think I would like tell you guys? Do you think I would be streaming at all? If I definitively knew what was going to happen, like if I'm saying I was 100% sure, you think I would be streaming? No. I'd keep the secret to myself because I don't want to lose my cost basis. I would get as much money as I possibly could, and I would do a highly levered bet in support of that direction. So I wouldn't be here. I'd be infinitely wealthy. I would be retired. I'd be on I'd be on my own private island somewhere, soaking in some rays. I'd be getting some vitamin D, and I'd be on my like 8th Mai Tai of the morning, and it's only 10:13. So this concept of like some sort of like guru or something like it's about to do this, it's about to do that, fucking 50-50. If you want the odds and something going up or down, what's crazy about price movement is, especially in the short time frame, like if we're looking at any intraday chart, it has a normal distribution. Like for those of you who remember like the bell curve, like the Gaussian curve, that's pretty much it. We have a 50-50 shot, and then obviously large movements, those would be the tails. But most of the time, we're moving slightly up or slightly down with about a 50% chance. SPY crushing. We're coming down to support. Remember this support right here? 41735. We bounce there. It'll be interesting to see if the market reacts there today. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they won't. How's Wall looking? Like shit. IEP not doing anything. Microsoft is actually still green on the day. AI down 11%, but inside bar, no decision. Remember, AI reports after the market closes today. Apple actually having a good day. Somehow Target going a little bit green, but remember, in the grand scheme of it, it's getting slaughtered. Tesla, I would love for that to be over 200. I'm going to have to move this. I just want to set up an alert to know if this is breaking down. I am afraid to look at my account today, so maybe I should just not do that. Rum holding ETH, holding 2.27K. We have ETH at 1863. AVGO actually almost back to break even, chilling at 800. CRM, Salesforce, they report after the market closes today, slightly green. Palantir having a rare red day, exploding after its earnings from basically 7 and some change all the way doubling up at 15 just yesterday. Netflix is on my watch list for a breakout alert. I want to know if Netflix add alert. Netflix on the larger time frame, I see a giant cup handle potential explosion break above 400, maybe leading us back to the promised land of this upside gap fill just above 500. So I have no position on Netflix yet, but it's definitely on my watch list. An ideal scenario for me on Netflix would be it coming down to somewhere in like whatever, the 380s, a little bit of consolidation, then it starts to pick up, and then that's my entry point, and hopefully ride the explosion as quickly as possible to 500. But I just want to point out that maybe you guys want to throw Netflix on your watch list. I see a giant cup handle, ideally some consolidation here, and then I would love, if it happens, to play the breakout and the push forward, but I don't know if it will. Ooh, the market's looking a little rough. Tesla's looking a little rough. Everything's looking a little rough. Fuck me. The only thing that I have bearish on is Target, and Target's the one that's going up. Oh, this is what happens when you take your emojis off your chart. You lose a lot of money, apparently. Yeah, smash the like button. At least that'll make me feel better. You can help me forget. Oh, should I do it? Should I look at my account? Oh, fuck me. That's horrible. Oh, That is not good. Yeah, no, we're going to put that back down. I don't want to look at my account anymore. Today's not my day. I do have quite a bit of time till expiration on most of these plays, but intraday, not good. Not good. Made money on Q calls this morning. Seems like you just did a little scout play. You got to be careful with that because there's not much of an upward movement in the Qs. Oil down to 68.50. Maybe this is support. Remember, we were watching 417.35. We just hit 417.26. That was the low on the SPY. This is the secondary support region. The first support region we just kind of crushed through, but maybe we bounce here. So watching this, if we just snap 417 and keep selling, looks like seasonality. Remember, the seasonality of today is bearish. I showed you that the profit factor is 0.17. Buying at open, selling at close as a bull, which means it greatly favors you as a bear from a seasonal perspective, even though the odds are about 50-50. So basically it's saying that when the bulls won today over the past 17 years, they were barely winning. They were notching a very small win. And then when the bears won the day, they were winning greatly. And thus far, that seasonality is seemingly playing out. Don't forget at either 1 or 1:30. I think it's at 1 p.m. Nope, wrong. 1:30. Tesla. Fuck. Tesla's breaking down. 1:30 today. We're going to have Harker and Jefferson speaking. And then at 2 p.m., we are getting the qualitative outlook of the economy with the Fed Reserve Beige Book. So they're going to have a write-up that becomes public at 2 p.m. So expect a little bit of movement, maybe, from whatever these Fed members do or don't say. We had the Fed governor and a Fed president from Philly, Harker. So Jefferson, Harker speaking at 1:30 ET. And then at 2 p.m., we are going to get that report. It's not a speech or anything. It's just a report that comes out. So I want to put that on your radar. Are we bouncing a little from here? Dude, they are slicing and dicing the market today. Slicing and dicing the market today. Wowee. This dip going to be bought? Dude, who knows? There's this game of being like, oh, like I'm sure this is going to happen. No, it's always odds. It's like, okay, what are the odds of a bounce here? And once again, even that mathematically is like a little rough to explain. It's more of, if you do something right here, what is your risk reward? And ideally you're doing it with a better odds situation. Could it bounce here? Yeah, we're at support. We're at established support that people have noticed on the market previously, specifically Friday the 19th and Monday, May 22nd. We've seen the market bounce here before. Does that mean it has to bounce here today? No, absolutely not. It doesn't have to do anything. But there is a chance that buyers, if enough people are seeing this support and they're like, yeah, no, I like the risk reward, because you can get in, maybe they risk $1 or $2, maybe even less. And if it starts to bounce, great. It's a very optimal risk to reward setup. But that doesn't mean it has to bounce, because if not enough people think that, if there's too much nervousness surrounding like, like what's this beige book deal going to be? Like, what is the Fed going to say? What is going to come out of the debt limit? Speaking of that, do we have any updates? Elon Musk scheduled to visit Shanghai plant Wednesday night. The JOLTS data came out. Really, the market's being pushed down by this JOLTS data. The economy's too hot. So right now, if you look at what's going on with the Fed, there's just an increased chance. Where's my Fed thing? My Fed tracker. Where's the Fed tracker? Fed tracker. Fed. Why can't I find it this morning? I have too many bookmarks. I can't find my CME watch tool. Fed rates. There we go. That took forever. My apologies. As of now, there is a 72% chance that we get a 25 bips, a 0.25% rate increase on the June 14th FOMC results announcement. So before this, there was about an 80% chance that we aren't going to get any, but all the recent economic data reports coming out are suggestive that the economy is still too hot and we're probably going to get another Fed rate hike. And specifically, there's a 72% chance of that. And that's just being made worse. It's being additionally pushed down by the report we got that the job openings Too many jobs. The job market's too hot. The economy's too hot. Unemployment's too low. They're like, just things are too strong, and the Fed is trying to fight against that. What's your take on big? I don't even know what big is. Never traded it. I don't even know if big lots. It's like shit. No trade. I wouldn't. The trend is obviously down, and it's way too chasey to be betting against it at seemingly an all-time low. So it's a missed opportunity. It's one thing if you got into it previously, but this thing is just dying. The Qs showing a little bit of weakness, breaking below yesterday's low, but still quite the push. Nvidia got that downside gap fill to 391.70. So if you played the downside gap fill, congratulations to you. It just got filled, but it is absolutely destroying me. Microsoft not doing much. AI still inside bar, no clear direction. Apple holding at 178. Target at 135, putting in $1 worth of green, but getting slaughtered overall. Tesla very much want that to be above 200. AVGO actually showing some strength, staying above 800. Salesforce reporting after the market closes today. Slightly down, but not doing too much. Did have a push this morning. Palantir trying to hold 14. Netflix 390. Just a lot of inside day with like a bearish hue almost. Man, look at just nothing. From 9:45 until now, the overall market has done nothing but sell. And pretty much the same situation on Nvidia. Nvidia had a pop right before, but just pure selling. The selling aggression over the last hour has been very, very apparent. There's a lot of people trying to pull the ripcord right now as opposed to buying it up. But we've seen crazy reversals. I think there's a human bias to, it's literally called recency bias. I think there's a clear aspect of being a human that sometimes we project it also into our trading, that we think whatever just happened is going to continue happening. And the true odds of that type of a thesis are you're right 50% of the time and you're wrong 50% of the time. Just because something has been selling doesn't mean it's going to continue selling. And I see a lot of projection of that in the pre-market. People look at pre-market and they're like, okay, it was red today, so it was red in pre-market, so it's going to be red today. It was green in pre-market, so it's going to be green today. That is a fallacy, and you should not really be taking that into account, especially if you're day trading, because roughly 50% of the time that's right, and roughly 50% of the time that's wrong. There's no clear statistical edge of using pre-market or whatever's even just recently happened in the market to be what's going to play out for the remainder of the day. What are you seeing the support levels on Tesla? I'm not seeing much until 195. I'm trying to figure out my own, but I wouldn't mind confirmation. That's what I said, Joe, is like about what I'm risking. I think I called out 194 this morning. It was 184. Actually, no, it was 192 that I'm looking at for today. But also I want to make it clear that my expiration is a couple weeks out on Tesla. This was not ever intended to be a day trade or even like a one-day trade. Like, I guess it would have been if my risk or reward, but like I'm mentally prepared to be in Tesla probably until, I think an ideal time to exit would be like the start of next week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. I would love for Tesla to be pushing, but that's not going to happen when the SPY is vomiting like this. Like it's just getting crushed right now. Look, these are 3-minute bars from 9:45 till now, 10:24. There's only been one little baby green bar. This is a lot of selling. There is much more selling aggression than there is buying aggression. And a lot of you might be looking at it thinking, like, but how could we have known that? I'm telling you, if you are trading the strong seasonality days to the upside and to the downside, I don't have the exact odds on it, but if you somehow said, okay, like the neutral days I'll cut off, and then the strong bullish days I'll go long, the strong bearish days I'll go short, that would most likely be a like kind of like a noteworthy profitable trading strategy. Today, it was pretty freaking bearish. Not in terms of the odds. It was about a 50-50 hit rate. But on the days we go bearish, it was notably bearish. And we showed you all of those odds before the market even opened today. Obviously, I was hoping that it was one of those days where it was like kind of a fake out. And who knows? Maybe it still is. Maybe there is the tail risk to the bears today, getting the debt limit negotiations through. Schumer says once debt ceiling bill reaches Senate, will bring to floor as soon as possible. So that just came out at 10:23. So I clearly, very evidently, the Bears have the upper hand today. I would just argue that the risk to them is we get a random announcement at some whatever point in time today that it successfully passes the House, and then some sort of unexpected optimism at the speed at which it could go through the Senate. That's what I would be looking for there. In terms of the 1:30 talk between the Fed Governor Jefferson and then Harker, who I believe is from Philly, it depends on how hawkish and dovish they are, but the recent, I guess, phraseology that the Fed has been using, it is kind of hawkish sounding, so that's not going to be good for the market. I don't know. I'm holding my positions because I have time. A lot of my expiration is mid-June and the end of June. The only one like I said, the only play I'm not happy with right now is Nvidia. That is the only play that I currently have issues with is my Nvidia play. I'm still optimistic about AI. I like my risk reward. I'm still optimistic about Tesla. I like my risk reward. The play I do not like is Nvidia. I'm also even really happy with my target play. The only play is NVDA, and I was just being stupid. I was being greedy. I got flustered with my previous position, which I should have held. And when I got out of that, I figured might as well play it the other way. If you dislike the current play so much that you're willing to get out, why not play it the other way, which is just really, really poor reasoning. There is a strong middle ground where you shouldn't be taking a position, and I just was not being disciplined enough to recognize that. Is the House vote live for a debt bill? I believe all of the votes are technically live on C-SPAN. Can someone correct me if I'm wrong on that? Can anyone correct me on that? I believe all of these votes are going to be live somewhere. I think that's actually a law that like we can see what our government's doing, and all the votes are going to be like publicly available, publicly recorded, yada, 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 yada. Dude, this debt ceiling. Nvidia getting a little bit of a bounce. AI trying to get a bit of a breakout here. A bit of a breakout. Even Tesla trying to break this horrific sell-off, man. AI, for those of you looking for an opportunity on AI, you have a very minimal risk right now. If you were to attempt to buy this breakout, you evidently are just risking 38. With your initial upside target, we could even use the intraday of 42. So reasonable risk reward. But obviously you would want to only do that if you have a bullish thesis. So just want to call that out to everyone. What is Intel doing? I don't know. What is INTC doing? Breaking out, it looks like. Look at this. That's a nice breakout on Intel. I don't think I'm going to be taking it because I would either have to risk $29, $2.50, or risk 27.5. And the first upside target is at 32.50. And then the next one's at 30, not 34, 33 and some change. So I do like it. It's bullish. Like a fake out breakdown leads right to it. Like that is the definition of bullish. A fake out breakdown leading to a bullish breakout. The only thing that I don't like about it is the risk is kind of far away relative to the reward. So I'm not going to take it because of that. But if you're in Intel, like if you maybe somehow got a good fill, hey, ride that momentum out. Vote on the debt limit scheduled for 8:30 p.m. tonight. BJ, I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. So that's a nice breakout. I'm actively watching Netflix for a breakout. Looks like it's not coming today. What was the other one? I have a little cheat sheet of things I want to watch. LUV. I've been noticing a nice setup on LUV. Not quite happening yet, but could be getting interesting. I guess we could be a little bit more conservative or maybe meet it in the middle, something like that. I'm watching Southwest Airlines just for a breakout because if you catch the breakout, we can risk 28.50 and potentially play this sucker all the way back up. So maybe I'll just set an alert on this line, add alert. I don't think now is quite the opportunity to strike, but I do want to put that on your radar. There's a couple of things I like about it, but trending down, momentum slowing down. The bears are running out of momentum. The bulls are starting to pick up. I'm looking for a breakout and a close above this trend line for confirmation, and then my risk is minimal. If I'm wrong, I risk 28.50 with the upside target of potentially all the way up to 40. So $10 of upside, $1.50 of downside. I'm going to take those odds. So especially with oil dropping, oil's now down to 68. Anecdotally, and also based on the recent airlines talking about their summer travel, they are increasing their guidance. So kind of liking that, which is giving me a little bit of a bullish thesis. So I wanted to throw that out to all of you. Carvana, I do admit that this thing is looking like it could pop, but it's just looking at Carvana, pump dump, pump dump, pump dump. This is by no means something I would invest into. And honestly, I don't even necessarily want to play the pump. I want to wait for the pump to happen. And then as soon as I see weakness after the pump, I want to play it back down. I don't think Carvana, in my opinion, is that strong of a company. Does that mean you can make money on the upside? Of course you can. This thing has proven itself to have pretty dramatic pumps. I just don't necessarily want to be a part of it because I just don't like really the company's fundamentals whatsoever. And it seems like a really, I'm worried that too many people are going to get into this play and they think it's something that you should diamond hand. And that worries me because I don't think it is something that you should diamond hand because there's nothing in this company's history that suggests it's worthwhile to diamond hand. So I'm looking for a pump like it's done in the past. And then if I see evident weakness and a good risk to reward setup, I'll play it to the downside. But it is moving quite a bit. It's getting a lot of hits on social media. So maybe something to worthwhile to like pay attention to. What else do we have? Netflix, AR, Kaiban. I think those are my major watches as of now. Actually, how's Budweiser doing? Still getting destroyed, down down 2.2% today. How's Target doing? At 135. My risk is around 138 on this play. How's Tesla doing? Tesla back above 198. Are we starting to turn a little bit? No, not really. Well, Tesla's turning. AI fake out didn't really get that break. Kind of quickly got smacked. So no confirmation quite there, but Tesla's showing a bit of strength. Obviously, if you're entering on this one, if you're a day trader or whatever, similar to what we're seeing on AI, if you have that bullish thesis, right now is an optimal risk to reward. You can be in at just below 198, risking 196.30, so about $1.30, but your upside is 203. So it's just optimal risk to reward. You're basically saying, hey, I don't buy this trend. You think you're going to pop off of it. The odds of it, unfortunately, I can't like give you the odds, but I can tell you it's a great risk to reward. I mean, what's that? Like a 3 or 4 to a 1? Like that's nice. And you're basically looking for the selling in the SPY right here to chill. You're also looking really more so for the selling in the Qs to finally chill out. Maybe we get this bounce off of 347. But very evident from that 9:45 until 10:30, the bears have been in control today. Does that mean they're going to be in control for the rest of the day? It very well might, but also it's no guarantee of it. The overall market has sliced through 2 different levels of support. The bears representing quite a bit of bearish strength, I wouldn't chase it to the downside at this. You're a little late to the party. If anything, you would have wanted to get in on this breakdown around 418. A little bit chasey. It could obviously keep going, but that's just a bad mindset to like be trading off of, to think that you could always be chasing it down and it always to work out. It's just, once again, it all comes down to a risk to reward type of a scenario. And even the bears, though they're in control, if you were to short now, your risk is just simply too far away relative to your reward. All right. Where are we at? Folks, destroy the like button. If you haven't done it already, let's see what numbers we could jack it up to. If you're watching right now, I ask of you to take a quick second. It's not going to cost you anything. Just hit that like button. Let's see if we could jack it up to over 500 on YouTube. It's at 382 right now. So basically 118, now 117 of you beautiful people. Just give it a little smasheroo, a little smasheroony. And then on Rumble, where are we at? Let me reload. We're at 150. Let's go for 250. There's 1,500 of you watching. I think 100 of you Rumble diehards could quickly hit that thumbs up button. Why not? Why not, you know? When in Rome. When in Rome. All right, what are we doing here on the SPY? Is this the moment that we pivot back around? Let's throw up the Keltner channel and see what's going on here. Keltner. Look at that overextension. Just, yeah, statistically anomalous of how hard we sold. But that doesn't mean it has to stop. Crazy things happen in the market every single day. I'm definitely biased to the upside, so I'm almost looking for an upside play on the SPY. And I'm biased to the upside because I have Tesla calls, I have AI calls, I have Nvidia calls. So of course I'm biased. So I'm not saying that like my information right now is of just like, I don't know, with like, I'm definitely in a weird way, like hoping. You always hope in the back of your mind that things are about to happen that are favoring your own position. But for me, if I was trying to give if I had no position right now, I'd be like, hell yeah, things look weak. Look at this. The SPY got murked. Tesla, maybe a failed breakout. AI almost had a breakout, but I wouldn't even count that one because it went up and quickly got smacked. Things are looking weak right now. They are looking weak. But are we all really, are any of us that surprised? That was the seasonality of today. I'm basically praying for some sort of miracle here, a miracle situation where we can, maybe with a debt, but is there going to be any, man, the SPY just made a new fresh low. We are doing nothing but selling. This has been an hour of just selling. My fucking account. Brutal, dude. Brutal. Hey, a Gray gifted 5 memberships. That's so nice of you. That's so nice of you. Much love. All right. Let's see what we're missing. Oh, wait. I did see someone out there must know the answer. When was the last time a reasonable sized broker-dealer was shut down by regulators for security law violations? Not fine. But some tiny broker nobody's heard of. Anybody know? Probably no one knows. Because it probably doesn't happen. I haven't listened to this yet, but another TikTok investors one. And we always learn so much. So I figure
getting paid to exist.
Figure why not share it with all of you? Because hey, it's always a perfect time to learn something.
If you want to start making fuck you money, getting paid to exist, doing jack shit and making money out of thin air, I got you. Here's what you're going to do. Try this for a week. First of all, I want you to remove this statement, I can't afford this, out of your vocabulary. Never want to hear you say this again. Instead, I want you to turn this statement into a question and ask, how can I afford this? This is something that Robert Kiyosaki wrote, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, talks about. It's called money mindset. This shit works. If you start approaching money from an abundance mindset, the universe will literally throw money at you. You will find yourself at the right place at the right time. You're gonna start getting paid to exist. This is what I did to literally manifest myself out of poverty. Turn every statement into a question. Anything you want is possible, so long as you can approach it from a curious standpoint. This is exactly what my clients who are doing the workshop, which you could grab at the top of my page, are using to literally get their tuition paid for, manifest credit cards paid off.
I manifested $13,000. I was paying an attorney to have my credit card debt cleaned up. I got a notification on one of my cards and was like, ooh, what's happening? So I pulled up my Credit Karma. They are all gone. They got rid of $13,000 worth of credit card debt. Your workshop. Oh my God, congrats. What was this other one? I manifested several scholarships with your workshop. I manifested myself out of student loan debt with the workshop.
Manifest credit cards paid off. Insane amounts of money out of thin freaking air, all in your head.
Babes, your workshop got me to receive $10K as a gift. I cannot thank you enough.
And if you don't believe me, try it for a week. Come back to this video. And also drop it in the comments. How can I be a millionaire? If you want to start
280,000 likes. Hot high priestess. Hashtag wealthy mindset, hashtag money mindset. You know, I never really thought about it before, but I think that is the problem with poor people. They're just they're fucking bummers, dude. They're not people that are manifesting. I think that's the real issue. I think she's onto something. If you see a homeless person, if you see someone in poverty, if you see someone who just can't pay their bill, can't make ends meet, it's simply because they're not manifesting. They're not sitting there putting it out into the universe that they wish they could put food on their table. It's their fault. It is 100% exclusively their fault because they're not sitting there thinking, wow, I would love like a solid meal today. It's all on them. It is 100% on them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She's onto something. And if you disagree with her, if you think, yeah, you can't just manifest $13,000 of credit card debt out of existence, you're just wrong. And that's why you need to take her workshop. Honestly, that's clearly why you need to take her workshop, because you just don't understand how to make money. You just don't get money. You don't get the universe. You don't get manifesting. You just don't get it.
Cook. I keep an empty refrigerator. My dad's like, son, don't you think it'd be so much cheaper if you cooked? And I said, no, not really. I said, let's talk about that scenario. Calling the valet, getting downstairs in the elevator to valet, getting in the G-Wagon, burning fuel, sitting in traffic on Biscayne, go to Publix, trying to find a parking spot at Publix, getting out, looking around the store for what I want. Dude, I want fucking chicken or steak. Getting the food, all the ingredients, going home, parking again, going back up the elevator, getting the pots and pans out, cooking like a fucking idiot. I'm cooking, saving money. The Dial soap that costs $8 a little bottle. Clean the dishes, clean the plates. Fucking nerds. It's every day.
How long does it take him to get out his pots and pans? If that's like a list of things that he has to call out in the process. Like, are his pots and pans hidden in fucking Narnia? That he has to like go and hang out with the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe just to get his fucking like pot to make pasta? Fucking nerds. Fucking nerds. Whenever I see anyone cooking, I'm just like, you fucking nerd. You fucking nerd. It's so aggressive. Man. Bro sells the course. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Are you still going to be trading? Oh, this is going to be right up our alley.
But the hedge fund is going to be severely de-risked, right? Because the minimum that I'm going to be willing to work with would be 100 million. And right, you can't promise investors 100 or 200% every year when you're dealing with that type of money. First of all, you just can't do that because orders won't get filled, right? You're just not going to be able to do that type of shit. So what do? You just de-risk. You just risk a lot less and you keep trading the same exact way that you usually do. So instead, it's like 20 or 30%. But the hedge fund is going to be severely de-risked, right? Because the minimum that I'm going to be willing to work with would be 100 million.
Now, this is going to be a little bit of a hot take. And at first, some of you are going to disagree with what I say. But I think as you let it settle in, you're going to probably be on board. And just hear me out. Just give it a second. Let's not judge each other. Let's not come to any knee-jerk reactions. But maybe we do need a recession. Maybe we need a severe recession so this type of shit stops. Just throwing it out there. Let it sink in. Let it sink into your soul and think about it. Maybe at first you're like, I don't want a recession. That negatively impacts people. Yeah, but maybe it also gets rid of this. Severely de-risked. We're going to 100 mil. This guy who fucking can't shave his face doesn't get out of bed unless it's 100 mil. 100. I'm honestly surprised his numbers are that low. If I'm being honest with you, 100 mil, I thought he was going to start out of Billy. Like the fact that he's willing to run a fund for 100 million, it's just helping us poor people. And you know how he's going to get there? He's going to get there through manifesting. He just needs to manifest it. Honestly, if he manifests it hard enough, like if he takes that other girl's premium workshop, I think he could be there in 1 year. Why wait 10 years? He just needs to manifest it. Manifest it harder, brother. When you're on your third month of not paying your expensive AF car payment and still haven't been caught yet. Salesman, I need your signature here saying you agree to pay $1,400 a month for 82 months with a 10% interest rate. Drives off in my brand new Tahoe knowing I'm not going to pay a single dime towards it. Dude, this content is so sick. The amount that we could just learn from TikTok these days, it's astounding. This shows you the power of education. Wait, what was this one? Did I miss one?
I just basically mortgaged my house so I could put all of the equity from the house into XRP. And you might be thinking, I am absolutely crazy, but let me explain to you why I did that.
Because you're dumb.
I did that because there is so much fear in the market right now.
Fear.
I love fear, all right?
Love
I'm greedy
fear.
when others are fearful, and I'm fearful when others are greedy, okay? When there's blood in the streets, it's time to play some ball. I just basically more.
I love when people are fearful. Fear. Those are the only investments I make. When I'm like, holy shit, this is probably gonna like financially ruin me. I'm like, that's being fearful. Fear. Fucking, how stupid are some of these people? I'm fearful that the market's gonna keep dropping. Should I just go long? Fucking fear. Fearful. He stole it from Buffett. He did, but he's not worried about it because he likes fear. He likes fear. Fearful. Ugh. Am I getting fucking boned today? Yeah, the quick answer is yeah. The TLDR on this is yeah, I'm getting absolutely fucking destroyed. All right. Your boy's going to try. Should I buy it or am I being fearful? I'm trying to understand if I'm manifesting this enough and if it's a fear-based decision. A fear-based decision. Do I want to risk 60 cents? Does your boy want to risk 60 cents here? 60 cents, 60 cents, 60 cents. Nvidia turning. Oh, wow. That got smacked real quick. Because that's fear. It's fear and it's people not manifesting. That's what it is. That's the real problem in the market. Ask yourself, oh, how can I afford it? You're right. I think I've been leading you guys wrong, honestly. I think a lot of you have been like, Matt, you've been preaching risk to reward. What's the risk? What's the reward? Is it a reasonable ratio? When in reality, I need to ask myself, how can I afford this? How can I afford these YOLO 0 DTE SPY calls right here? What do I need to do? Do I need to steal my fiance's credit card? Do I need to mortgage my parents' house? Do I need to once again get into the underground street fighting circuit and go for small guarantees? How can I afford it? What do I need to do as a trader to afford these calls? Jesus Christ. This stuff is so... People are nuts, man. Fearful. The fearful. Dude, I'm getting so destroyed on Nvidia right now. Fear. Fear. The slap fighting circuit. Get a loan. No, you're not going to pay a dime. Stormy connecting them all. I appreciate that. I run out of the bank, a small regional bank with my adjustable rate loan that I told them was to start a business. In reality, I'm just YOLOing it into the market. Matt, when are you going to teach us how to manifest winning trades? That's a phenomenal question. I really appreciate you asking. That's going to start next week because I have to take her workshop this weekend. So I'm not really yet at the level where I can teach you about manifesting trades. But I'm taking her workshop Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So as of Monday, I will be able to teach you how to manifest your trades. And no more of this risk reward bullshit. We're going to be talking about manifesting. We're putting it out into the universe, and we're going to be asking ourselves, how can we afford this? Don't ask yourself, wow, that seems costly. I shouldn't do it. That's dumb. That's the mindset of a poor person. If you want to be poor, if you want to be a poor person for the rest of your life, this is not the community for you. This is not the stream for you. This is not the content for you. This is not for poor people. I want to make that extremely, evidently, abundantly clear. No poor people in here. A lot of the times, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag here, but you know how sometimes you can only comment in here if you're a subscriber? It's subscriber only mode. Same thing on Rumble. To comment, you have to be logged in. You have to be a subscriber. I'm in talks with both Rumble and YouTube that it's just anti-poor mode. you're going to have to actually to comment from here on out. I'm going to need your W-2s. Like we're going to upload it to a new AI system, and just no poor people can comment, because the issue is poor people bring us all down. What poor people don't understand is they ruin it for all of us. They really do. And I know a lot of you are thinking it, and I'll just be the person with the ball sack to say it, that poor people ruin it for all of us. So this is going to be the last week where the poors can hang out in here. But starting next week, it will be required that I'm going to need your last like 6 pay stubs or your W-2 from last year. And if you're not making over, I don't know, I think maybe for the first couple months, we'll do it at $250,000. But I really want to talk with people who are over 7 figures, because we just need that in here, because wealth begets wealth. So for the first couple months, just to test out the system, you're going to have a yearly income of $250,000. And after that, minimum $1 million. It's going to go minimum to $1 million. By the time we get to July 4th, Independence Day, remember, what was America made on? It was made on rich people. It wasn't made on poor people who couldn't manifest beating Britain in a war. Do you really think that when we were just a group of 13 colonies, we weren't manifesting kicking the fuck out of Britain? You think we thought we were going to pay off what we owned in taxes? No. We knew as we were yeeting tea into the harbor, we're not paying for that shit. We were manifesting our own country. And look at us now. Literally a global power. You think that came out of nowhere? You think that came without manifesting? You think that came when we thought we were going to pay taxes? Obviously not. So in celebration of obviously the birth of the world, because really time doesn't matter before 1776, we're going to have no more poor people in here. It's bringing us down. It's bringing us down. It's so fucking cringe. Damn, guess I'll take my pennies elsewhere. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. You still pay taxes? I saw on TikTok. You don't have to. Yeah. You guys are paying taxes? Oh, welcome to being poor. The funny thing is rich people don't pay taxes. Look at AI is picking up. Ooh, look at that. AI is picking up. Manifest your tax bill away. That's what you need to do. Did the SPY bottom out here at 416.50? What are we doing? Nvidia's picking up a little bit. Nvidia, I'll set an alert at 400. Kind of a wake me up when September ends type of a vibe. I'm also going to have an alert here on this recent high AI. That one didn't work, but even if you went long on this breakout at 1027, your risk was clearly 38. Your risk never hit, so you're already still looking Gucci. Let me have a breakout alert here on Tesla just to make me feel better about life. Love getting those breakout alerts. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. All right, we're adding an alert. The only thing ruining the day thus far is the SPY. Well, to be fair, everything's ruining the day for me personally because my account is getting absolutely fucking railed, and not even in the good way. No need to share, Matt. I'll just manifest the knowledge. Ooh, touche. Touche. I never predicted that. You guys could just manifest your own knowledge. There we go. I like to set my alerts really close just so I can feel better about myself. The alerts that are going in my favor, I like to set very close. And then the alerts that are far, bad for me, I like to set super far away. So it just decreases the chance of me ever having to hear them. The SPY. Do I want to try to buy the SPY here? A little bit of a swing trade? A little bit of a reversion trade? Hang on. Let me see if I'm being dumb. All right. Being dumb on that time frame. Kind of being dumb on that time frame too. But see how it bounced right off it bounced off of 4,175. But it's back in this trend. Dude, that's fucking dangerous, man. But hey, that's fear leading the way. I've noticed it myself that sometimes when you let fear lead the way, It just means you're being silly. We're going to get some SPY calls because I do not let fear run the day. No way, Jose. I don't know if I'm going to get a fill on this. I'm trying to get SPY 420 calls for June 9th. Just got filled. I just got filled. SPY 420 June 9th. 265 was my average. And obviously my risk is going to be whatever this low is, 416.33. But I will set up an alert a little bit earlier just to know if my face is about to get ripped off. Oh, brother. That's what I'm risking. Hopefully a V-shaped recovery today. Would love to target 418.25. Would love to scale out some of it there. Decent risk to reward, risking 50 cents, 75 cents, obviously upside of like $1.50. So going for like a 2-to-1 setup right now. Seeing some optimism return in the world of these AI stocks. Let me switch this over. Seeing a little bit of optimism return in the world of these AI stocks. Obviously, AI itself, C3 AI reporting after the market closes today. Popping, would love if it could hold 40. Nvidia was picking up, getting smacked hard at 394. Ideally, it stays above 390. And nope, right away. Of course. As soon as I try to buy it, it gets smacked. Sick. 66666. It's because I'm being fearful. Fearful. I just need to manifest it. I just need to manifest the market up. Green. Bullish. Buyers. No sellers. Shorts getting fucked. Up. Green. Bullish. Up. Green. Bullish. Buyers. Buying and buying and buying and just ripping and rocket ships and short squeezes and FOMO and gamma squeezes and all-time highs and ripping and ripping and ripping and ripping and ripping higher, higher, higher. So much green. I don't even know what red means. I don't even know what that is. You guys are saying red. I'm like, what's that? Like, I'm just deleting red from my memory. I'm deleting it like Roy G. Biv. It's going to be Oi G. Biv by the time I get done with it. That particular frequency, that whatever that frequency is, I don't know if it's a longer or shorter one. I forget it from physics class. I'm just deleting it. I'm not only deleting it from my memory, I'm deleting it from the universe. No one's ever going to see red again. It's going to be gone. All I can see is green. I see things that are green and then not green. I see two colors, green, not green. Something's either green, which everything's about to be, or it's not green, which is about to stop happening. Just ripping green. I need to put it out there. Just need to connect with the universe, with the frequencies of the universe, with the bullish frequencies of the universe. I am the bull. I am the cosmic bull. I think we're going to do it, folks. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's all about manifesting. His chakras are aligned. I am one with the universe. That's really insulting to colorblind people. It's because they're not manifesting seeing colors. But it doesn't really matter because we're joining them now. We are joining them in just seeing green. It's going to be a bunch of green and some grays. A bunch of green and a little bit of gray. But in reality, none of this is really a day trade. Just basically waited for what we were at 422 yesterday. It's now at 417. So a $5 dip in the SPY, just looking for a little bit of mean reversion. It could be a brutal sell-off, but once again, June 9th expiration, I'm not playing it. It's not. I mean, if we pop today, if we get back up to 419, of course, I'm going to take my profits because that's an easy one, especially like why take on the risk of like the unemployment report on Friday at this moment. But hey, all I can tell you is on the larger time frame, I see red, white, and blue. Granted, the red's starting to dip back down. I see this potential bounce. I don't have to risk much. If we do bounce off of here, great. I get to ride it all the way back up. And then if it ends up breaking down, okay, I took a paper cut. And like, I don't want to take a paper cut. Obviously, like no one wants to have a losing trade. But at least my risk isn't outsized. My risk is very small relative to the potential reward. And now it looks like we are getting into that midday chop. Well, across the board, you guys know my reward levels, you know my risk levels. I will keep everyone updated on locals. If you are not yet a member of locals, macros.locals.com. It's in the description of the video. If you're watching on Rumble, just click the red button that's on your screen right now that says locals. That's how you can join up. There's a free version and a premium version. The premium version is $10 a month or $100 for the year. You could also try it out 1 month for free by putting in the code GOONIE, GOONIE. Obviously, just make sure you're on monthly. That won't work if you're on annual. Kohrs.locals.com. You might as well, at a minimum, get on the free version because that's how I could email you guys if something's happening. If there's a specialty stream, I also for free give out all the seasonal bias. Like if you wanted to know the seasonal bias for today, I gave it out for free. Just be on the locals community. And right after this, I'll put out the seasonality for tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. You get the point. And I'll also update you if I do any of the trades that you guys are kind of tracking with me. If I make any changes to them throughout the day, that's where I'm going to let you know. We will be streaming once again today at 3:30. For the remainder of this week, we're attempting to see if you guys... Well, actually, that's a great question. Before I leave, could you raise your hand or share your opinion for the second piece of content in the day? Do you like it to be a power hour wrap-up stream where like from 3:30 to 4, 3 to 4, depending on what's going on? Do you like it when it's live and the market's still open? Or do you more so like the highly edited video that comes out at like 7 or 8 p.m.? There's pros and cons to both. There are very evident pros and cons to both. And I just wanted to get your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions on it. Do you like the highly edited video that comes out at 7, 8 p.m.? Or do you like it when it's the same kind of content, like a wrap up of here's what happened today, here's what to look forward to tomorrow? It's just the timing of it. Do you want it to be a live stream during power hour, or do you want it to be more of a highly edited video that comes out later on in the day? Power hour, live. Yes, power hour. Edited later, power hour. I like both. Live, power hour, live. Prefer live, power hour. Do a poll. Live video. Shower hour. Ooh, that could be a real late night thing. A shower hour. We could do. I need to write that down. A shower hour. All right. I appreciate the responses. We want 24/7, 365. Man, that day that you missed me on leap year, it's going to be a crazy one. Yeah, shower hour is the OnlyFans exclusive. You guys understand. Okay. Well, I appreciate the feedback. We will be back at 3:30 today. 3:30 today, whether you're watching on Rumble, whether you're watching on YouTube, I will be streaming the close of the day, giving you a wrap up of all the news, all the positions, what to look forward to tomorrow. We will be live at 3:30 today. I'll get the pending video up as soon as I can. I actually think it's the pending video that I had up there that caused the problems with the start, at least on YouTube today. Did not run into those issues, fortunately, on Rumble. But anyway, I'll catch you at 3:30. I'll catch you soon. Have a good day. Remember, the lunchtime chop session, it's exactly that. It's lunchtime shop. Don't feel pressured. Well, really, you should never feel pressured to be chasing anything, but especially during this lunch chop. It's low volume. It's choppy. The nice moves typically, not always, come at the start of the day and at the end of the day. The first hour, hour and a half, the last hour, hour and a half type of a deal. So in this lunchtime thing, unless you're seeing huge breakouts, huge breakdowns, bigger volume, like a lot of the times you can see just the volume graph typically throughout a day, it spikes, it comes down, and it spikes again. That midday thing, people are literally away from the screen. They're just kind of vetting all the news, trying to figure out what they want to do. Most of the trades are placed at the start of the day, the end of the day. That's probably where you want to be as well, just so you don't get chopped up in the midday mess. That's just my thoughts, my opinions. Wanted to share it with all of you. Overall, I appreciate all the good vibes. Thank you. I will catch you at 3:30 today. Have a good one. See you later. Peace out, Girl Scout.